Okay, my name is Bo Yaka. This is Project 4 of Game Artificial Intelligence. Now, what I did this week was I did create a finite state machine instead of the behavior tree. Now, I did it a little, I coded everything. I didn't bother using the animator, but however, I did use the animator to show the paths of everything and the transitions to each piece. But I do have a wolf here, and he is my pet. And I do have an idle animation, just so you can see what it is. It's no big deal, but it's just, he's sniffing around, things like that. But anyway, so I just wanted to show that. But starting with the paths, I tried to make this as easy to read as possible, but of course it is tough with all these transitions coming back and forth. But this is pretty much the rundown. Is as soon as the game is started, it goes right to idle, and then from idle you can go to wander or run. And starting with run, there are you can go to idle, you can go to happy, and you can go to playful. Going over here to wander, basically you can go back to idle and also go to curious. Now, moving down, excited is here, is connected from run, and it goes to happy. And then angry here is, this can go back to idle, this can go to run, and it can also go to sleepy. And then going to playful, we have one transition going to happy from there. Then curious is one transition from curious to playful. Hungry goes to happy and also angry. Happy goes only to idle. And then sleepy here doesn't really go anywhere just because, I'll explain that in a minute. It has to do with my daytime, nighttime cycles. However, now, of course, this is a little confusing, but pretty much each arrow going to each one, it's capable of transition. This does match my code, even though this doesn't really do anything right now. It does match my code. I made sure of it, so I'll go over that as well and be able to see that too. And going back to the game, pretty much there's nothing really to see here. All of my everything I did, instead of just having like 10 different colors that could get confusing for each state to change them or whatever, I basically just debugged everything. So when an event or when a state is changed, it will come up in the console, and I will show that shortly. Basically, there's two scripts on here. There's a wolf script, which pretty much just handles him. There's several different different attributes here. Was he fed? Is he at idle at this time? Actually, let's build this again. It's a little different. This is actually day cycle. There's a day cycle, night or day. Pretty much I can turn that on and off, and I did that for debugging purposes. And then we have a happiness level, we have a sadness level, we have the animal's health, we have love level, hate level, and stamina. Now, there are a couple of other things that will affect his behavior as well, but it's on the time script. Pretty much it's just a script that runs through, and every certain amount of frames will change from day to night. I timed it to be just about 10 seconds or so. So daytime lasts for 10 seconds, nighttime lasts for 10 seconds, and he reacts accordingly. This is the hours in the day, just so I can keep track of it. And I also threw in the amount of days that that he's been your pet. So I guess these could be the high scores. The longer you keep him alive, the better off you're going to get. You're going to get the better score. But what I'm going to do real quick is I'm just going to do a quick rundown, just so you can see everything I'm going to do. All will show up here. And right now I'm going to turn the day cycle off just so it doesn't mess with everything, because it is set to where if it is nighttime, he can't be interacted with because he's sleeping. So I turn that off just so I can show everything that's going on. So hit play. And right now the wolf is at idle. He starts at idle. And of course that does reflect here, as you can see, since I did set this up as a animation, this is actually running through its animation, just like this. And well, this here, actually, let me shut that off so it don't get confusing. We'll clear that. Okay, so the wolf is not idling. Go back to the game now. Within the idle, of course, if we go back to the animator, we can see that we can go to either wander or run. So if I hit W, oh, the wolf is wandering now. So going back to the animator, wandering can either go back to idle or it can go to curious, depending on what I want to do. If I want to go back to idle, I just hit I. And as you can see, it doesn't come up again. This kind of threw me off. I was wondering what was wrong, but it's actually counting the frames over here where it's at. So I know that it has changed, and it has switched states from wandering to idle again. And of course, I can go back to wandering if I wanted to. And when I do that, it shows that it played for one frame, and right now I am in the wandering state. Now, of course, I can go to curious, and I will show that as well. That's basically just C. And now he's curious. Now, there's a couple in there that you do not need to press anything for it to do it. It automatically does it. He's curious. He becomes playful. And, of course, when he's playful, he becomes happy. So let's jump back to the animator real quick. Now, happy. Oh, well, actually, I haven't seen that before. Maybe it is doing something here. Anyway, so happy here. Can either go back to idle, where it looks like it already has actually on its own after happy goes back to idle, and the next would be if we wanted to go maybe go to run. You're gonna hit R for run, and he's running. And from run we can go to either happy or playful. Of course, you can do either or, and just as before. Even if you go to happy or playful, it doesn't matter because you can end up back in idle anyway at the end because that's the way it's all set up. Oops, that's the way it's all set up. Back to idle. So now from idle, we can run over to actually let's see, run, playful, happy, and back to idle again. Wander. Now angry won't come up yet because that's all part of the day-night cycle because. He gets angry if you do not feed him, and he's hungry in the morning. So I turned that off for now just to show this. So that's why that's not up there. But curious we showed. Excited was actually, let's do excited. We didn't do that one yet. Go run. Right now he is idling. So let's go. We can do run to excited, and so we have to hit R first. And now we are in run. Of course, it doesn't give you a new one. It says it right here. And I hit E for excited. And the wolf is excited now. And from excited, we can go to happy. And that is actually a manual thing. I probably should make that automatic. But okay, so hit H for happy. And, of course, now we're back to idling because, as we said before, it always goes back to idle. So anyway, that's that right there. That's without day cycle on. Now I'm going to show the day cycle. Day cycle. And let's click on the wolf. And day cycle. Here we go. Let's turn on the time script. Let's actually start this whole thing over too. Turn on the time script. Turn the day cycle off. Actually, turning that turns it on. And I should probably fix that too. Anyway. Daytime, nighttime, hours, and day. Hit play, and yeah, let's clear this out. Wolf was awake. Wolf was hungry. Okay, so as you can see here, the wolf was awoke. He was hungry. I kind of missed his meal already, but actually I can feed him now. So I hit F. As you can see, I fed the wolf. The wolf is happy, and he goes back to idling. And then it tells me how old my wolf is. Now, as you can see here, doing that also changed some things here. It brought the happiness level up, brought his health up, his love level went up, his hate level went down, and his stamina stayed the same because he wasn't doing anything like that. But now, as you can see here too, it switches back and forth. Right now, the wolf is sleeping. I mean, obviously, the idle animation does not show that, but Doesn't matter what I press, there is no response at all because he is sleeping. Eventually, when it hits, there we go. He's now awake. He's 3 days old, and he's probably hungry again. And yes, he is. The wolf is hungry now. Now I'm going to actually not feed him. I'm going to skip his meal. Skipping his meal actually, the message says the wolf will die if you do not feed it. The wolf is getting angry, and then the wolf has bitten you because you do not feed him. Now, of course, though, each time the day starts over, you get a chance to feed the poor guy again. Right now, he is sleeping. Right? Yeah, he's sleeping, so I can't do anything for him right now. He got tired. Now he's sleeping, and eventually, when daytime comes back, and he's 5 days old, and he's hungry again. Oh, wait. Yeah. All right. And, there he goes. Anyway, so as you can see, it counts. Each time it cycles back and forth from daytime to nighttime. It does that every 10 seconds or so. Counts the hours, and also, as you can see, you can tell the wolf is either fed or not fed. I just fed him again. His happiness level went up. Sadness level actually went up too. All right. Health, love level, hate level. And now let's stop this here. And I'm going to go over the scripts for everything. And pretty much like I showed you, you can open this up, and this shows all the frames that each time the state has changed, it showed how long that stayed in that state before going on to the new one. Of course, you have idling, which will stay in the state for a long time, and that's why it's a high number. The wolf is sleepy. The wolf is going to sleep. Of course, he's sleeping, so throughout the whole time, you're not going to be able to interact with him, and those are the frames that you can interact with him with. And got that there. Let's close that. Now I'm going to open up my, these are the scripts that I use. I started off with a time script. This pretty much just handles the days and nights. Now I have daytime, nighttime, bool, yes or no. I keep track of the hours, I keep track of the days, and I keep track of the frames. The frames is important so that I can simulate a time. I know I can use coroutines for that, but sometimes this seems easier, and it seems like less time-consuming and troublesome. But, of course, starting it, a daytime set to true, so it's the daytime, and we reset the hours. When called, we drive the hours back down to 0, start over again. Get hours just returns the hours, and I'll show you why I needed that in the wolf script. Now, in the update, I count the frames. The reason I counted the frames is for the time period. 600 frames go by, which is roughly 10 seconds. If you get running at like 60 frames a second. And you set the nighttime to true after that, because that would be nighttime. Daytime turns into false. You count the hours of 12, and then, of course, you debug. And this is where how I know it works right with the debug log. This is the next one. This is actually for when daytime starts, nighttime is over. Daytime starts. The hours add another 12 hours. It says it is daytime. It counts the days, and then it gives you a report of how old your dog is, or your wolf, I mean. And then with the frames, if it goes too high, we want to start it over again, so we set it back to 0. And then the same thing with the hours. I could have just made another method here, like I did here, instead of just saying this. They work. Either one works, of course. Going to the wolf, we have several attributes of his, which is, of course, we saw in the inspector. Wolf was fed. What is the day cycle on or off? Happiness level, sadness level, health, love level, hate level, stamina. Now here is the beginning of my finite state machine. These are all the states that they can be in: idle, run, wander, happy, angry, sleepy, playful, excited, curious, or hungry. Of course, I wanted to make an instance to be able to use, so first that's where private state, current state turns into. And of course, I want to use some of the things from time, so that's where this comes from as well. Now, this is how I handled the time. I just wrote a quick method. If the day cycle is equals false, so as long as I don't have that clicked, that was all for debugging reasons, it will it will say the wolf is sleepy, it will set his state to sleepy, and then it will set his state to hungry when he wakes up. The daytime would be true. The wolf is now awake, and he's instantly hungry and wants to be fed, like most animals. And of course, in my awake function here, we just set an instance for time, so I can pull that from that script. And now we have the update method. I set this here. This is pretty much if you don't feed your wolf every time you don't feed him, he will lose health. And then if it goes down to 0, the wolf is dead. And this number here is actually 10 years. The average life of a wolf is 10 to 18 years. So I just went on the low spectrum. This is actually how many frames would, or how many actual days would constitute of 10 years. So, of course, if your animal lives that long, it lives out its full life, and unfortunately, it's still going to die. But anyway, if we're going to pull the get hours function, which is just here, of course, get hours, returning hours, and we're going to handle time if it is 0.0, meaning if it is the beginning of the day. We're going to start handling time from the beginning. This is my switch. This is pretty much how I handled all my states. There are other ways to do this. This is kind of long, but I found that the other ways are kind of long too, and they require several scripts that you have to write on several different. I only have 2 here. If I was going to set this up, each state would need its own, and it would just be even bigger. But anyway, so I got this here. This is the wolf starts off at idling. He's in the idling position. He is idling. From idle, we can wander or run, which does, of course, coordinate with here. From idle, we can wander or run. And that's how you can see this in the code. It's just if that, do that, if that, do that. Go to wander, go to run. Of course, we're going to have to break it, break that cycle when one of these are chosen, and then going down to run, which also shows. Now this gives a little bit of it brings the happiness level up because the dog's exercise or the wolf is exercising. It brings the stamina down a little bit because it is exercising, and then it changes its state to playful. And then that's if you hit P. And then if you hit E, the wolf is excited, and then it will bring its happiness level up a little bit. Its stamina down a touch, and in current state would be excited. Or from that state, you can always just go back to idle, as you can see here. Now, here's wander and wander here. And that's going to raise the stamina a touch because he's kind of just ambling around. The wolf will become curious at that point. And the state will be curious if this is C, if C is pressed. Or you can just press I and go right back to idle again. Now, the happy state here, the wolf is happy, of course. The happiness level goes up, love level goes up. Current state turns back to idle after he becomes happy, just to give control back to the player. And then now here's angry. Of course, the wolf is getting angry if you don't feed him. His hate level goes up for you. If his hate level goes to 5, the wolf is bitten you. Now, of course, it looks like here if you don't feed him once, he's going to bite you. But I did that just to make sure it worked. This can be set to anything and made so that you have to not feed him several times before he bites you. But anyway, after he bit you, he runs away from you because you're not his friend right now. So there he goes with going to run. Or I can just go back to idle from there if the hate level is not. That'll go right back to idle. Of course, he got angry, but just didn't bite me that time. However, and then as we go on, of course, we got the breaks. Don't forget, breaks have to go on after every case. We got sleepy. The wolf is going to sleep. Now, there's nothing really happening here, and that's just because I have the day cycle set up. This will automatically go to sleepy when it becomes dark, and then wake up, of course, when it becomes light out. Playful here. Got the debug, so I know it worked. It raises the happiness level and goes to happy as far as the state. Excited. The wolf is excited. Happiness level goes up. Current state goes to happy. And of course, all of these are, as you can see, everything I'm saying here does coincide with this here. Where's my state thing? Now, curious. Of course, the wolf is curious. It'll go straight to playful, which of course does show over here. There's curious, going straight to playful. And pull that back up and go. Now, this is when, of course, these states are only called when the day cycle's on, because, of course, the wolf wakes up, the wolf is hungry. If you hit F, if you feather wolf, it turns into wolf fed equals true. Happiness level goes up, hate level goes down, love level goes up, health goes up. Current state goes to happy. And as we know, happy will end up going back to idle again. Now, however, if you don't want to feed your wolf and you press S for skip meal, the wolf, adds a note here, the wolf will die if you don't feed it. Wolf fed equals false, happiness level goes down, sadness level goes up, love level goes down, hate level goes up, health goes down. And then it goes back to angry. And of course, as you can see, this is that right there. So that's pretty much my script on all of that. And one more time, I just want to go through everything. Got an animator here with all of the stuff. And one thing I noticed, it's kind of interesting, if you it's kind of hard to see when it's all over the place like that. You just click it and drag it, and then now it's a lot easier to see what's going where, because you can see them move together. That'll work with anything. You can make it bigger, bring it around. I tried a bunch of things just to make this a little bit more readable. Doesn't look that bad, I guess, but could be better, I'm sure. Anyway, and then in the game, of course, going back to the wolf, we have the wolf, and here's everything we talked about in the scripts. Of course, we got the day and the time, we got the hours and the days, and then we have just two simple scripts that make it go. That was interesting. Before I didn't realize that the animator was actually, even though I didn't set this up in code too much, of course, these words do match the enum, so I guess that might be why. However, it does show the transitions. I just realized that now, so it's really cool too. But that's pretty much it, I believe. We just got and I think that's all we got here. Okay. All right, and now, of course, if I wanted to, if I could get some more animations, I can turn these into animations, like maybe they make the wander, have him, kind of doing what he's doing with the idol, but move around, sniffing the ground, looking around, run, of course, and make him run. Maybe excited, he can, kind of jump around a little bit. Angry, of course, he could growl. Curious, he could, maybe throw a question mark over his head or something. Playful, he could run around, maybe you could throw in a ball and throw the ball to him. Maybe you can run around and get it. It might be kind of interesting. And then hungry, maybe if you wanted, you can have him, growl a little bit, maybe stomach growling. If he's happy, of course, he could be barking. And sleepy, of course, he'd go lay down, and maybe even have like a dog house that goes. Maybe he goes hang out in the dog house, or the wolf house in this case. But that's pretty much it. And of course, I didn't do much about animations because of course this is an animation class. But all this shows that it does work, and that would be it. Thank you very much.